Welcome to another episode of Sylvie and Diddy Reacts. I'm Sylvie,
And I'm Diddy.
and today we're going to be reacting to an interview with Mike Tyson. Now, before we get to that, I'd like you to like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Well, Diddy, the match is done, but there's still lots of fun to have. We are responding to an interview of Mike Tyson by, I believe, this 12-year-old girl.
Okay.
And let's just say it gets interesting.
Okay. Okay. I'm very curious then. Shall I go ahead and bring that up?
Let's bring it up.
Okay. Okay. Can you see that?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. We'll play this. And do we just want to go ahead and play the whole thing?
Let's
And
do it.
then,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, in your return to the ring for this fight, you are setting a monumental opportunity for kids my age to see the legend, Mike Tyson, in the ring for the first time. So, after such a successful career, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Someone said that word and everyone grabbed on the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about legacy after that? What a big ego. So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before, someone say that as an answer.
Can you really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead?
Well, in your return to the
It gets me every time.
Oh my gosh. I love her. Like, I have never heard someone give that answer before.
And I
She was
love
trying so hard to like not just like keep a straight face.
I love too how it cuts to like Mike Tyson giving that stare, and you're just like, holy crap, who in like Mike Tyson is saying we're all gonna die and we're dust, and then he gives that stare. It's like, don't you think that's silly?
Oh, why, yes, sir. Why, yes, sir. That is a very silly opinion to have. Oh
Oh,
my gosh. Yes, that's amazing. That, oh my, like, yeah, she went into that not how can you expect to have this philosophical who are we really? We're such a small piece of the universe.
yeah, is the emotional equivalent of getting knocked out in the first round. Like,
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, she's like,
uh,
"Oh, I'm gonna come into this. I'm gonna give him a softball. I'm gonna give him a warm up." And then he just comes in swinging.
oh my gosh. Um, I will say the thing that I reflected on after I'd seen it a couple more times. Um, I think he has part of the point, and then like I think part of the point he's missing. But I think that there is this idea that a lot of people do use this idea of legacy as kind of this ego booster, and it becomes very self-obsessed. And I can see why he would say that. Is like that's nonsense. Like, who cares? Why am I trying so hard to get people to think a certain way about me when I'm going to be dead? You're dead.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but then I think that there is an aspect of legacy that does matter. And like I'll ask this of people when I want to like kind of break out of the mold of small talk, and I'll ask them like, what would you want to be written on your tombstone? And I think that redirects people to prioritize the things that matter in life. Like when we think about legacy, it could be like,
Right.
what's the ultimate priority for your life?
Yeah.
So, but I think that he's spot on. I think a lot of people don't use it as like what's the priority of your life that you
Right.
hope like will have come to define you. A lot of times it's like, ooh, what do you hope people will say about you?
Yeah.
And I agree with him. It's like that's ego.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess you could say then that Mike doesn't want his legacy to be that he was a great boxer.
Yeah.
And maybe that's partly him showing frustration or something that he can't break away from that mold, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I could see
But
that.
yeah, I mean, to your point though, it's like, yeah, like we don't want to have ego override everything. So he's definitely making a valid point there. But then at the same time, when we pass, there will be people who will have been impacted by our life and the way we chose to live.
Right.
And so you want to say, well, what kind of so I guess you could almost just rephrase legacy as what kind of impact do you want to make with your life? That's sort
Yeah.
of maybe a better way of saying so that you don't get cornered by Tyson in the first round
Yeah.
and knocked out.
Don't ask stupid questions and you won't get death and dust as your answer. Um, no, that's a really good point. Yeah, I think impact, I think kind of what do you want to leave with those around you or like, yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's a really good.
So maybe
Mhm.
our closing argument here is,
Yes.
do you think the fight was rigged?
Ah! Um,
Did Mike
gosh.
purposefully uh you know uh wait, what were people saying? Like people were like, "Oh, Mike clearly had a chance to knock out Jake, but he didn't.
Yeah.
It's rigged."
So what I had heard, and this was from hearsay, so
Hmm.
you know how reliable that is
Yeah.
he had a medical emergency where he had lost a lot of blood and he still hadn't recovered. And apparently, the people that host the fight like didn't feel good about like the health and safety. As well as he's like wearing that knee brace. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed
so
that.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough evidence to just like it was rigged. It's probable that it could have been staged to some degree,
Okay,
but
so we're
like,
looking at WWE situation.
yeah, but it's like I don't want to say that and be like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was totally fake. I
Yeah.
think probably there might have been either explicitly or implicitly a mutual agreement to go like 75% or 50%. And it's just
Yeah.
like which is still impressive for those guys. Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to go into the ring with
I
Mike
mean,
Tyson at
regardless, yeah,
50%.
regardless, they were still drenched in sweat at the end of the
Oh
fight.
yeah,
My
yeah,
my
yeah.
reaction from watching it was that maybe like, okay, so this is, first of all, I'm not a boxing expert nor
Hmm.
MMA.
Exactly.
Usually the only reason I watched is because it was on Netflix.
Hmm.
Because otherwise I don't pay or go to a bar to see like a big fight.
Right.
But from what it looked like to me was that Jake um was I think Jake's purpose was to come in and box against Mike Tyson, not to come in, knock him out round one, round two, or something like that. He
Right.
wanted to box Mike Tyson. And if there's something holding Mike back, Jake is gonna like either consciously or unconsciously is gonna hold back a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because I think part of part of this wasn't, like to the point of ego, like he could have just gone in and clowned on Tyson. Although you could argue that that wouldn't really be a big boon because he's 58 and
Right.
Jake is 27. But, um, like the ego boost would to be come in and knock out Iron Mike. But he was like, no, I wanna box against him.
Right.
So I think he potentially just planned it out so that he made sure he had enough punches that he would win at the end of the fight. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think it was rigged by any means, but the
Right.
stage, I guess, holds more water because I think you could say what I'm saying is essentially that it was staged to a
Right.
certain extent. Like Jake was not going all out, so you could argue it was staged.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Not
yeah.
that I think the outcome was set in stone, but I think for
Hmm.
Jake, he probably felt the outcome was set in stone. Like there's no way he could lose. But I don't know.
And I noticed like when
Okay.
I watched it, like Mike kind of like it seemed like he'd do this half jab, like almost like he would start out, but like he stopped for some reason. And I don't know if that's old age. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
like,
well, see, again, and that's where I'm
mhm.
like, I'm not a boxing expert. Is he trying to throw Jake off his rhythm? Is he trying to like, change his guard up or so, like to get a better shot? I have no idea. So
Right.
I can't really, and I can't,
Yeah.
like it's easy for someone who knows nothing to say, oh, he tried to punch and he didn't.
Yeah.
It's rigged.
Right. He's gonna let Jake Paul win so he doesn't throw half the punches that he could have punched, like
Yeah. So
I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know.
Um, but yes, I enjoyed the interview much better than the boxing match, and
Yeah, that's
uh
fair. That's fair.
I will say this, Rocky Balboa did it better.
Okay.
It's much more entertaining.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
No, no. Yeah, that was a gem. Thank you for sharing.
My pleasure. And thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more of these, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can email Diddy or I with any videos or articles that you would like us to respond to. Until
Absolutely.
then, we'll see you.
See ya.